Ditte Vulvatorius.
Yes, hi.
So you're a new group you started 2020
Yeah, we
approximately,
did. Yeah.
and then Corona came.
Yes, then COVID hit and we just released our first album this year. So it's all still a bit new, but also, yeah, we've done some crazy things this year.
Yeah, you are really getting more and more popular, and yesterday you opened for Soulfly.
Yeah, we were asked to support Soulfly last night, and it was so much fun. Yes, and Pumpehuset, it was sold out in the stage in the bottom, whatever it's called, in the basement. And yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, and I heard that you founded the group with a friend of you that was also a schoolmate from art school. Is that correct?
Like we started Vulvatorius. I went to high school with Sophie, who was the guitarist of the band, and then we grew up in the countryside, and then we all moved to Copenhagen, and it took us some years for us to like do other things, and then we met, like bumped into each other at a convent show in Pumpehuset as well.
Yeah.
In 2020, right before COVID, and then she brought her friend Signe, who later became the other guitarist of Vulvatorius, and we just had so much fun that night, and we decided we're gonna start a band, and then we did. Yeah, so we have a lot of memories together, me and Sophie, from our teenage years.
And we are very lucky to have you because your music, it's really giving something to people. I think that one of peculiar things of your exhibition at Copenhell was, of course, your show, but also the real feeling of this Danish metal underground scene, the real spirit of Copenhell for me. I will also catch up. We have a surprise for you later. But then you met Erasmus. Erasmus was into black metal because that drum it go with black metal.
Yeah, me and Sophie actually went to high school with his wife, so that's how we heard that he might be interested, and we tried to play with him, and it also worked out really well. We're very pleased that he wanted to be a part of the band.
So did you started with the idea of black metal, or it just turned out to be black metal because Erasmus were doing that so well?
No, I mean, we obviously also like black metal, and so we just started somewhere. I mean, it was first time for me creating music and stuff, so the same with writing lyrics and stuff. Like, I just felt like, okay, what's in my heart, and what do I want to say to people, and yeah, so
which is my message.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we got Florent on bass with us as well in 2021 that I knew. He's from France, and I feel like we all have like each our different vibe that we then mix together and create Vulvatorius.
Yeah, Florent is from France, so we are actually quite a composite group. We are 3 women, 3 girls, and then your drummer Erasmus and Florent. Yeah. And you are also part, or you were like supported by the Coda group, right? The Coda Fonet, and that's obviously also took a part into your formation of the band. Try to push for international and inclusive type of atmosphere, right?
Yeah. Yes, and also just helped us with, it's a lot of things that we needed support. So, we recorded the album at the Lasse Ballade studio at Nørrebro and stuff, and then we were lucky that Niels Ole from Bad Morning Records wanted to release the album. So we got a lot of support.
Absolutely. Lasse Ballade, for who doesn't know him yet, has been producing the most interesting alternative music in Copenhagen. Night Fever, we talked with them shortly ago.
Really
they were also
Fever,
publishing their new album with Lasse, and he's an extremely good producer and technician, and it sounds in the album, absolutely.
Yes. And we're very lucky as well that he wants to. He and William were making sound last night and stuff at the Pumpehuset, and so Lasse also did the sound Roskilde Festival and Copenhell and stuff. So it's really nice.
Yeah, because this year you did Copenhell, you also did Roskilde, even bigger stage. And
yeah, it was also very fun.
Something interesting is also with your production and your new album is that you definitely got a very interesting first work, and you wrote it all yourself except for one song. So the writing is yours, the lyrics is yours,
Yeah,
right?
I think it is. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we talk in the band, like, which direction do you want to take the lyrics and stuff? Like, I ask the others as well, so I feel like often
Yeah, of course, it's a collaboration. And that's what made me curious, because of course some of the lyrics, they really stick to the metal culture, but there's also a lot of punk, bit of bikini kills.
Thanks. Thank you.
Especially in Cunt, one of the songs we will talk together about, you can really feel like this feminist punk vibe,
Nice.
Very in your face.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Does it come from you? Does it come from Cine? Who is the main?
Well, I did write that lyric, and it was one of the first songs I wrote, so it felt very natural to write that song.
So let's look at this album, shall we?
Yes.
We take out the cover. It always shines in the camera for some reason.
Yeah.
And
There it is.
here is Vulvatorius. Oh, we can put it here so it stays with us.
Perfect.
So I love the cover of the album.
Thank
How
you.
did you come out with the squid?
We found this photographer from Japan. I can't really pronounce his name, but it's in the back of the cover.
Yeah, it's
And
Tanaka, I
we
think.
Yeah, I asked if we could use it for the cover, and he said yes.
Yeah.
So we thought it was really cool and a little bit different maybe, and yeah, we had a lot of ideas for covers, but we settled on this one. We're really pleased.
And it's lovely.
Thanks.
I mean, so I really like it. It really give. I should not comment, but a very good touch.
Thank you very much.
And this album is in gatefold. You have your lyrics inside
Yeah.
and the track list on the back. And it's about 45 minutes, so it's quite long for a debut album, and it's very various. Of course, it sounds very metal because of the drumming, but I think there is at least 5 or 6 songs that are really separate from each other in an interesting way, and I would like to talk about those.
Yeah, sure.
So the opening number is Born Witch Born, and it sounds very metal culture in a way, a bit convent, a bit behemoth maybe in the guitar.
Thank you.
So that was something that was written with a band based on the music you like or the music you listen.
Yes.
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
is there any backstory for that, or it was just like we want to do this music?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Honestly, like we put together, the riffs that we like, and obviously Rasmus' insane drumming, and then just felt like this was a really powerful way to use the lyrics that I wrote for this song, which brings back. Yeah.
And in all this album, I hear that you can also sing with clean voice, but you actually growl for 45 minutes.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You feel more comfortable with the growl? Is something about the
Definitely.
power? Or,
Yes, I prefer to only growl. I also started screaming some more, but I would always avoid clean vocals.
So we could expect also some screaming in the next album.
Yes.
Mormor Sang, it's one of the number that hit me the most the first time I heard your record. And oops, let's not sync it. And I really like the lyrics. I really like the mood of the song, the metal but a bit more ambient, a bit more Norwegian black. I just don't get what it's about. So
Yeah.
and why it's title in Danish and lyrics in English.
It just felt right, and the lyric, like the song, is about, Mormor Sang means grandmother's song.
Yeah.
And it's about,
for who doesn't know Danish, you don't have it in English, but Mormor is the mother of the mother. So here you distinguish which grandparents from which line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about a story she told us, me and my brother, who's also playing the guitar right now because Signe is on maternity leave. Anyways, he's my brother, and my grandmother told us the story when we were kids that back in the day, if women got pregnant outside of marriage, they would sometimes, some of the women would walk into the ocean, she said, to eventually drown themselves to avoid the
shame and
Yes, and also I think that story just really stuck to me, and it's something that's very relevant today as well, because a lot of women face a lot of sexual violence and stuff in a culture that doesn't protect them and doesn't
and that means maybe not in Denmark, even if also in Denmark having an abortion is not a cakewalk, like it's not that you enter and you get it. There is a process that it could be psychologically daunting, but there is still country when you basically cannot get it, so it doesn't sound so remote, the idea of...
Exactly, so it's about that, and also just that whole experience of like sexual violence and
living with a burden or be left alone with a
that
burden.
too, but even if it's not about pregnancy, it can also be about other stuff. But I felt like that's the voice of that person, and the lyrics is this woman who eventually drowned herself and her baby inside. So.
Okay. You have a very predominant feminist lyrics in the whole album. Maybe the next song, Shrouded Mountain, is not the most immediate, but still have a lot of this feminine energy type of feeling.
How is that?
I can tell you what I thought when I read the lyric, but maybe you can tell me first what it's about.
Well, this one is more like an energy song for me. I recently lived in Scotland for a year and traveled a lot in the Highlands, and I just really got into the mountains. We don't have a lot of those in Denmark, so it was more new to me, and I just felt like we wanted the song to be like hope. We wanted the audience to feel like the energy of a mountain.
Yeah, okay. It makes a lot of sense. For me, I thought it was something about like this Icelandic way that volcanoes are female, guys are men, the guys are make a, it's kind of mess many times a day, but doesn't do much. But when a volcano explodes, do a big mess.
True that.
So they say volcano must be females.
It's up for, you can put into what you want.
Okay, but we're a bit far off. So you were in Scotland, and I missed by the mountain, and that's the Shrouded Mountain.
Sometimes it's nice to not have like, okay, this song is about that and whatever, but write a song that is more open to interpretation. Good
Now we come to one of my favorite acts, Cunt. I come from punk also. I'm a bit, metal, it's a bit a disguise, but I come very much from punk. And for me, Cunt have really this punk energy into that. And it really recalled me about, as I mentioned before, Bikini Kills or, this type of groove. And you say it was the first song you wrote, or one of the first ones?
Yeah, it was one of the first. And I wanted a song, or we wanted a song, like to like a ride into battle song.
A battle song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we come.
Yeah, exactly. And also like to encourage people to unite in this battle. And it's not only this song and this music is not only for, you know, we don't care that much about genders and stuff, you know. It doesn't matter who you are, but we all want to fight for this right thing, I think.
Of course, and it's fair to don't care about gender and think that everybody's treated the same and so on. But it's also fair to say that there is definitely some gender or some group of people who have the short end of the stick in today's society.
Yeah.
And maybe they are the one that you may want to voice the most, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But we feel like this song also resonates good with. We get a lot of energy back from the audience, so it's really nice.
Yeah, you used to open your concert with this song just to give the charge. Charge yourself.
Charge myself.
To also charge yourself, to get yourself to the mood.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just say right away what we want to say.
Yeah, and it's a very powerful song.
Thank you.
And I often, looking at your live performance, I really see that you really enjoy and seek for this power feeling during your act. So maybe it's also...
I like to feel very big and strong. And I hope that somehow some of that energy can go out to the audience if someone out there is feeling like they need that too.
And that's something very predominant in metal in general, but especially in many female metal bands. Not that it's a genre, but you know, to actually really enjoy and seek for the power and for the loud place where you can scream your idea finally, where you can be what you feel like being and not what society put you onto, right? There is two songs that are even more, cannot say aggressive, but in your face than this one, in the feminist way, and still recall a lot the punk legacy. And those are Fuck You Incel, which is one of your most famous songs at this point.
It is.
Resister.
Yeah.
Resister.
We
Yeah.
call it Resister.
Beautiful word.
Thank you, yeah. It was my friend Dine's bundle who came up with that word actually, and then we took it from there.
So these two songs, they point directly to protesting against hate and incels.
I mean, we felt like it's a bit of humorous way for us to say something very serious.
No.
Because misogyny is very serious and it kills a lot of women every day in the world.
Yeah.
And this was a place for us and our listeners to reply back for once, you know, because every day we're facing a lot of misogyny and sexism.
Yeah.
And we read about women getting murdered and all
kind
all these things.
of...
I don't even want to say all the words because it's so triggering for a lot of us. And it's just, we just live in this hate and we can't really do much to say something back. So I feel like this song, it's also something that resonates very, I think, like the audience sometimes also hopefully feel a bit relieved when they sing the song with us, you know, to just be able to say fuck you. So,
yeah.
Just fuck you, man. Like we haven't done anything to them. We're just trying to fucking live our lives like anybody else. And yeah, so I feel like we want to create a safe space where we can fucking yell these things and then go back into the world and be a little bit stronger maybe.
Did you had in mind a specific episode or a specific person when you wrote this song, or it was just the generic phenomenon of incel and misogyny, or toxic masculinity in this case, about things like it's about an elderman resistor, like pushing down younger women or taking advantage, right?
Yeah, it's also something that a lot of us unfortunately have to experience once or several times in a lifetime.
Yeah.
People take advantage of you or are violent to you in a sexual way.
Yeah, and sometimes society might be kind of forgiving to some behaviors, and that's probably the most rotten thing about that. Not only that people are bad, we already know it, but also that it seems to be somewhat justified in any culture. That could happen, and is nothing new. It should be something that strikes, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's so normal for women to be treated like this in our society that people can't really always take it seriously. Like this song, as I said, has some humor to it too.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to hate, like, fucking kill any incels.
No.
We want people to, like, wake up and maybe
send fuck off back to the people who were insulting them.
Yeah.
That's fair. From the darkness of your soul, which also related to current social problem, in this case racism, and the racism that protect himself on the back of the Bible or on the back of society.
Yeah, it's something we were inspired to write when we saw, you know, all the stuff going on in America and like Trump supporters and stuff. Yeah, it's mostly about them. And also it's a song about, you know, fascism, and that's something we think is very important to say no to.
Is there something that you think that women, even here in Denmark, may need still to conquer, or should yield to them?
I feel like it's a big question because we work on so many different levels, you know, just in a day-to-day life and on the workspace and in personal relationships, you know, and stuff like that. I think it's very important that we keep like being very aware of the rights that we have already fought like to have, because you can see now, speaking of America, you know, how suddenly the rights that women have about, you know, abortion rights and stuff like that is like taking steps further backward, stuff like that.
And we are experimenting in Italy. It's never too late to make life difficult to people. You know, even if they cannot erase many of the civil rights we conquered in the past, they can still make them very difficult to assess. So there's a lot of damage that could be done.
Yeah, there is.
Saldo and Farvel, Jeg Går, and it's very black metal style, about death, about so it's like nihilistic.
Well, Sadur is very much about femicides as well.
Okay.
Actually, to say like, fucking leave me alone so I can die in peace.
Right.
So don't kill me. So I just want to die in peace.
Wow. Okay.
Instead of you killing me. So, and
okay.
that way it's
so there is a story in the back.
Yeah,
it's not
definitely.
Just
and it feels it's also a way that I hope feels empowering for people, like, you know, the other songs, to be able to say, to head back sometimes.
Yeah, and own your destiny, own your life.
Yeah,
not letting the other take it, it doesn't matter.
Fuck away from my life. Yeah, I can die in my own way. Yeah. So
It
that's
makes sense.
something that femicides, you know, speaking of hatred against women as well, a lot of women are getting killed in
Yeah.
this world, just like very based on their gender, and especially trans women are very,
Yeah.
very, we need to protect.
Because actually that's also something that today there's a lot of attention for feminicide, murdering of women, but there is still a lot of smaller and weaker groups, transgender for example, that are very poorly represented and still, you know, traditionally not protected by anything. There seems to be just, you know, they search their own destiny being who they are, which is an horrible thing to say to anybody. You are entitled to have a fair treatment, doesn't matter what you decide to be. So, and the last one is Sacrifice of Flesh, and it was written by Florent.
Yes. Yeah, he actually wrote that lyric, but we discussed if I should try and sing the lyric in French first, but it didn't go very well, so we translated it to English.
Okay.
And it's
maybe in the future.
Maybe, yes.
My girl can help you with French.
Oh really?
Yes.
Nice. But yeah.
I would love to have a song in French in such a language. I think it would be incredibly good.
But it's about also embracing death, and it's very personal for me. I lost quite a few people in my life the past recent few years, so death has been very, very present in my life in a way that has not been that much before. But and that's something that's also very global, grief.
Yeah.
You know,
grief. Yeah.
Everyone knows some sort of grief, and so for me it's a very big and important relief for me to sing that song, especially in the end. I finished that song with some very loud screams, especially live, and it's very emotional for me to sing that song, and I feel again that the audience are really
connecting to that.
Yeah, bringing back energy to stage, and then back and forth.
So you have a strong personal connection with this song.
Yes.
And how do you render your grief or your feeling of death in this song? I mean, how do you see death in this moment of your life?
Well, and when I sing this song, I see it very visually in my mind. My dead loved ones, and the feeling of the difficulty of letting go of someone, even though you're holding, you know, touching their dead body.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
So is the missing of the person, knowing that that person will not be physically with you in your future?
Yeah, very much that, yes. And it's also a deep longing for those people. And it's very personal to me,
I don't want to stress you too much.
It's okay.
I would go very personal. I think everybody measure themselves with death. It's very difficult to talk about your feeling about that, and I think people don't talk enough.
Yeah, especially in Denmark. Maybe it's different because we have this culture where we don't really share that much about how we feel.
I believe, maybe we are on a slightly different age, but especially when you are young, it's very difficult to talk about death. Maybe with age you start to become more prone to measure yourself and to acknowledge yourself, your feeling, and also toward other people. But of course, when you're young, you're very young.
Yes.
Much younger than me. So I understand it's not easy to put words into that. And
yeah, but it's true. When you get older and the more people you lose around you, you feel like you get, as you say, more aware of the time.
Yeah.
And the time is, moving fast or something. And that's something that's very heavy on my mind as well, with like climate change and humanity and the extinction of humanity.
What will happen tomorrow?
It's more like in total, like watching humanity kill itself, that I'm part of as well, but it's very difficult for me. So, and for a lot of people. And if we don't do something about climate change right now, we all...
Yeah, it could be game over.
Yeah, we're gonna go extinct. So that's also something that I channel in this when I sing this song. My frustration and grief about human race, I guess.
So what is said, that there will be no one to grieve for our destruction, or it's a relief, like, well, no one is there anyway, so no one will suffer anymore.
That's true.
Like, because, you know, sometimes I'm a bit cynical maybe, and I don't know if that will go on tape or not, but, you know, there's two sides of the story. There are who dies, and it's always very sad, but, you know, not being religious, I always see it, you know, it's no more your business.
Mm-hmm.
You have done it, you are on the other side, whatever the other side is.
It's true.
And then who is left, and that's the important things to take care about. Yes. Because people who are left are the people who can have, of course, a grieving. It could also be a positive grieving, could also give something in your life. And also a sweet reminder of people. But if no one is left, then who cares? It's all gone.
True.
Existential moment. Sorry. We really like your concert at Copenhell, and we know that for you Copenhell was something you look upon to.
Yes.
Were you going to Copenhell before playing there?
Yeah, me going there? Yeah, definitely. It was a big dream came true for us to play.
So I was to be there finally, among the people who perform and not the people who listen.
What?
I was to be there, performing instead of listening.
Well, how it was?
Yeah.
It was a very intense experience. It was very powerful experience. There were a lot of people that turned up, even though it was very early in the morning.
Yeah.
So we're very, very grateful for everyone who actually got out of bed with their hangover and saw us perform. Yeah, it was really awesome.
And we're also grateful to you to come here with your hangover. We know that yesterday at Soulfly concert you give it in. And something I loved of your concert, as I mentioned previously, was this feeling of metal brotherhood and friendship. And you inviting Andreas on the stage, that was also one of the guys that really have the flag of this Copenhell brotherhood, you know, with this local concert for the group of people. It was for me special. Now, this was my first year as photographer, because I do interview, but my editor only found a past as photographer. So he says, Stefano, you go as photographer at Copenhell.
Oh, okay.
So I was taking picture with that camera there.
Oh, okay.
And one of the picture, my favorite picture, is here with me, and is for you.
Okay.
So you can have it in your kitchen, in your bathroom, in your...
Can I see? What? I didn't know you took photos. Yes, that is beautiful.
Yeah, you can see
At
your
least
beautiful
I got the
nails.
nails. Oh my
and your
God.
mug. And we have Andreas, and that is...
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
that moment's face.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
This is
wow.
Our small reminder, our small gift of your first Copenhell.
I can't wait to put this up somewhere. We should put it in our practice, rehearsal space maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't want to wake up every morning with that face looking at you.
I would love to. That sounded wrong. Well, it's a great picture. Thank you. I didn't know you took photos.
I'm inside the photographer pass, so I have to do the imposter act of taking pictures.
Were you in front of the stage? Like
Yeah, I was a bit on the, yeah, I was in front, a little bit on the side, though, but for that I was sneaking in.
Yeah. Very sneaky. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, it was a beautiful moment to climb on Andreas' back.
Did he knew that you were gonna do that?
Maybe I warned him a little bit.
You warned him.
Or maybe. But I couldn't really imagine how it would all go down the way it did. But it was a lot of fun, and he did very a good job.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was super fun, and
yeah, we're really excited to play with the Plague Maze at Lillevega in February. Yeah.
And during your concert, you often have the punk energy. You really try to get like the energy of, like this feeling powers to full type of act. What power means to you? I mean, how do you feel this flow of energy? How do you feel the people during your concerts?
So like how I feel
Yeah.
on stage and stuff. I just feel, especially Copenhell, the gig there. I just feel very, very focused and very, very strong and very, very powerful.
What is power? I think you already mentioned that is about women to feel powerful, you to feel powerful, and the energy that metal give you. So
yeah, it's like I don't care what people think about me on stage and out, like when I'm not on stage, I don't care, and that's something I feel great sense of freedom and just being myself and do whatever the fuck I want.
yeah.
And that's the same thing I did last night at Pumpehusel before Soulfly. I was performing more or less without my clothes on. So that was, I think, something new to a lot of people in the audience, but it felt very natural for me and the band.
And this is very liberating sometimes, that you feel entitled to be yourself for whatever you feel. And
yeah,
let's not get judged, maybe it's a different things, but at least be enabled to do that, being enabled to feel your body and to be your body and in your body as you want. And that's also part of your look, because I believe that both in Copenhell and the other concert, you really like to have a mix feminine and punk look, and you feel very comfortable in those clothes also, because maybe it's also a way for you to take back your freedom and your
just being myself and also showing that feminine energy is not bad. And,
absolutely.
Because a lot of people think it's bad, and I like to show like everyone that in an audience for our concert that you can do and be wherever you want to be.
Yeah, that's a very good point, absolutely. It's also a matter of liberation. That's also what men search often in metal, this energy, this saturation. I mean, I think it's very human-like, not only gender-related. But of course, for women, it have another stage, because, you may be more restricted in your day-to-day life in many ways.
And for me, it's also important to show all the guys out there that women can look like me and behave like me, because a lot of people have an opinion on what women can do and how they can look like and what they're supposed to do and say and behave, So I like to just say, I don't give a fuck, and do it anyway, and I hope that everyone watching will do the same.
Absolutely. Well, probably those people, they're not gonna go to one of your concerts anyway. So we are lucky for that. You get the best.
I'm not
you
so
think
sure.
so?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have ideas on how they want women to be, or other people to be that work with, have feminine energy. They have a lot of people want to put me in a box or a cage and be like, are you this, are you that, what, especially when I'm metal is a very male dominated space.
Yeah.
So there is some people out there who think that I don't belong there because I'm a fucking woman, So that's some people we're up against sometimes.
I heard story of that happening. I heard stories of that happening with convent in this case.
Okay.
Do you have any story, or do you had any times that you were maybe on stage and people were not kind with you, just or?
I think I have an example of like when we got announced for Copenhell. You know,
Yeah.
my best friend was very excited about this, and she heard some guys talking about Copenhell at her workspace,
Yeah.
her job.
Yeah.
And then she was excited and went over to them and were like, "Oh my God, you have to check out Vulvatorius because my best friend is singing."
Yeah.
And then one of the guys replied that he was not gonna check out Vulvatorius because he hates women in metal, just the same as he hates women in stand-up or whatever.
Okay.
You know, it's a reminder that there's still some people out there thinking like that we're up against, and you don't want to think that they are out there, but they are. And
Yeah.
so that's sometimes some people we're up against. We're not that conscious about it, but being a woman means that it's something that, like, you get aware of a certain male gaze.
We had with us Ditte Vulvatorius. We had beautiful new album, self-titled, first press.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful squid.
Yes. Thank you.
And we had
Thank you all. Take care and see you out there.